all in a conference on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
So I welcome you to the KaiSeed India Network.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Swati Chakraborty.
I'm Kenu Agrawal.
My name is Ganga Nandani.
I am Kevor Kagupchian.
My name is Sirena Garcia.
Hi, I'm Sohini.
Hi, my name is Anna.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sneha Roy.
I am Professor Baharul Islam.
Namaste, Namaskar. I am Swami Atmadas Semi from Kerala, India.
My journey started around in 2012 when I started working for an organization, an NGO that was holding interreligious dialogue. Heard of this KaiSeed International Fellowship and I applied for it and I was so happy. And that opened my working on the international platform. I interacted, I created networks with people around the world. Like I remember interacting with fellows from 22 countries. Now I'm a MA in Gandhi and Peace Studies, so that is doing that at the age of 55. I'm so happy to move ahead and plan to move ahead on an international platform. KaiSeed, being a KaiSeed fellow has been a wonderful journey. It started in 2019 from Vienna, and that was my first exposure to people from Argentina, to people with fellows from Nigeria, with fellows from Singapore. And I think it's like new horizons were opened to me. My larger goal is to bring world peace, bring world harmony. Of course, it cannot come very soon, but then to bring world peace, to bring harmony, to bring an ecological balance, we have to work at small scales. So my still target is to I feel that every religion should be practiced. Teachings from every religion should come forward, and we live happily.
KaiSeed was part of that initiative. Then they took me to Morocco to do a training for the youths. Then I came to the fellowship itself as part of KaiSeed, and at that time we also hosted a G20 regional summit in Kerala, Tiruvandhapuram. KaiSeed also sent a few earlier fellows to there, and they funded a part of the meeting in Tiruvandhapuram, and KaiSeed supported those events. And I came up with a PET Peace Education and Training Program during part of my fellowship, and still it is they're running in Kerala, especially in Calicut University and also Margin Academy. That academy has got 4,000 religious students every year they have. And also Calicut University has got a mass communication department. They have a interreligious and intercultural communication department, and I used to go there and do some kind of training for PET that normally do for TOT trainers. These are the activities we do.
I'm born as a Hindu, but have been practicing Sikhism throughout my life. My mother used to go to the Sufi shrines, and studying in a Catholic school, we have been celebrating Christmas more than anything else. It has been a very interesting and a very insightful journey for me. I think KaiSeed has played a big role in my understanding, my knowledge towards different faiths. Since I have been a fellow, I have a very good network throughout the world. I have made so many personal relationships, the kind of professional relationships. I have worked with so many fellows in different fields. And I believe that being an academician, the need of structured religion knowledge or education is very important for the students who are from primary. Religious knowledge is mandatory for the school going kids, and I would like to work on this issue in future.
My journey with KAICEED have been started in 2017. It was really nice to be with them as a fellow. But I came to know about KAICEED since 2014. When they first launched their program, social media as a tool for dialogue. And from that time, I wasn't sure that I could able to do this fellowship because I born and brought up in a Hindu family, and I wasn't very much sure that how to deal with other quote unquote others from my bottom of heart. But when I started working with KAICEED, I came to know that the others actually we. So I'm sure that with the humanitarian aspects, not from the religious, but with the spiritual aspects, not from the very much hardcore extremist, we will move further. So thank you so much, and I hope this KAICEED is giving us the opportunities we will explore more and more in the interfaith journey.
One of the things I loved about the president of the organization, His Holiness Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati Ji, was that he really lived his life in a way that saw his truth of one world, one family, one humanity, one future, and one earth in everything. And dialogue in action is one of the most beautiful examples of sustainable change in the world, in our planet, for our planet, and for our world. And I'm very, very excited to use the knowledge that I have learned with KAICEED Fellows Program through the KAICEED Institutional Network and the various initiatives that they have been leading to bring interreligious dialogue into our communities, into our educational systems, and into policy making. I think as India Network, we have a great role to play and a great example to serve.
Power of the network is really the net worth of our fellows, because they can highly benefit from each other, they can support each other, and I am there personally and with my team in the Fellows Program to facilitate this network and to scale it up on an institutional level. And this is the reason for launching recently the KAICEED Fellows Institutional Alumni to enhance institutional collaboration across religious and cultural lines all over the world.
I've come here to witness firsthand the meeting of the Indian alumni of the KAICEED Fellows Program. And I am very interested in seeing what the alumni are doing after they finish the fellowship, because I think the alumni have a lot of potential to change as change makers in the communities where they live. I heard today a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of interesting exchanges, exchanges that should be not only shared within this group, but also shared beyond the walls of this group. I think they have a role to play in sharing their stories and sharing their knowledge and their practices with people outside the group of alumni.
I came into interreligious dialogue as something like a follow-up to my family history. My family has a history of the partition. My grandmother was a refugee from erstwhile East Pakistan, present-day Bangladesh. And I grew up on a diet of stories that taught me about the responsibility of being in the majority and to advocate for interreligious dialogue in the interest of protecting minority rights. I sincerely believe that as a fellow, as an interfaith ambassador, I am able to create a space, a small space in my capacity to help communities to listen to each other better and to communicate better so that relationships are taken care of and we build a society that we are proud of.
It's really a pleasure to be here today because this is a prime example of using interreligious dialogue as a tool to promote social cohesion and inclusion. For me, interreligious dialogue is very important because it allows me to know the other, and it allows me to learn from others that are different to me. And so this is a great opportunity to be here and to learn from our India chapter, who have been doing an amazing work.
I think the world opened up for me. In the sense, I was always into Islam, and I did a lot of my faith work as well as my study in Islam. And then when I moved on to become study interfaith studies with professional doctorate in interfaith studies, I went into the theology. But theology is not everything. It's kind of incomplete unless you bring it to practical implementation. And CAICEED was that ground that gave me the practical implementation. Through CAICEED, I was able to meet so many people from different countries. Like my cohort, I was in an international cohort, and I had people from 25 countries. I felt this was a good, rich ground to now explore and enter into interfaith projects and interfaith collaboration. And coming to CAICEED, understanding, meeting these wonderful people, it has given me a rich base to come back to my own context and think about how I would like to explore that. I would like to do something which has a larger impact, a larger social consciousness is built, and something which will bring marginalized people out, give people space to talk and to speak and present their different views.
My work has been particularly focusing on how to make inter-community connections so that they can have dialogue among them, and particularly at the time when various communities do have issues between them and social peace and the social harmony is disturbed, how community leaders, faith-based institutions can work as peace-building missionaries. The basic thing which we are now looking at is to scale up our effort and make all communities, particularly focusing on India's largest minority, the Muslims, how they can become part of India's national mainstream and work more closely with other faith communities to build lasting peace in this country, which is known for its cultural richness, multi-faith and multicultural beliefs, and its huge history of unity among diversity.
Very interested in issues of representation, symbolisms, and gender and youth. And currently my work is in West Bengal, India. The CAICEED Fellowship happened to me long ago in 2015, and since then I've been involved in different capacities with CAICEED. I basically was doing interfaith long before I understood I was doing interfaith, and I think this is a story many of us share. And I'm so glad that the CAICEED Fellowship happened to me back in 2015, and I graduated in 2016. It basically became a kind of framework, a kind of approach, and kind of a space for me to understand not just others but also myself. It's been a personal as well as professional thinking framework for me.
I am here in Delhi for the network of fellows of CAICEED. Personally, I am also a product of interfaith or interreligious harmony, in the sense my father is a Christian and my mother is a Hindu, and we were brought up like in both communities. We shared the goodness of both community as well as the brother community, Muslim community. As an interfaith ambassador, interreligious ambassador or interfaith ambassador, I really think that world needs that this time, because everywhere there is a targeted form of divisions, violence, discrimination. These are done on the basis of religious affiliation or faith, and it has been more organized these days, because that organization and the well-targeted and the professional way of making problem, violence, discrimination, etc. is growing day by day. Be a CAICEED fellow, see, before CAICEED and after CAICEED in my life is really changing. Before also I was doing a lot of interreligious dialogues, I was moving with many good communities. I was cooperating with many of the other communities. But when KAICIT gave me the training as an interreligious dialoguer or an interreligious dialogue fellow, or as a conflict resolution practitioner or a conflict management practitioner, it was something different. After that, it has become something very, 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 very different. So that's what it's like a 360 turn in the good direction. It's more into professional way of handling interreligious dialogues and conflict resolutions.